Good day everyone. I am Sir Chris Angelo Salonga. For today's video, I'm going to discuss it to you about the rules involving integers. When we talk about these matters, it is also dealing with the operations of signs, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of signs. But before we proceed to the rules of integers, let us have a short review about the definition of integers. What are integers? Integers are whole numbers which also include the negative number. Let's recall the number system. The number system start with natural numbers which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the positive infinity. Natural numbers are also known as counting numbers because basically when we count, we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to positive infinity. So if we're going to include 0 with the natural numbers or counting numbers, that numbers are called the whole numbers. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to positive infinity, so those numbers are called as a whole numbers. Concerning the sign of whole number, it is always positive and positive or positive by default. So we need to say all whole numbers are all positive. Now going back to the definition of integers. So integers are whole numbers which also include the negative numbers. So if we're talking about the positive whole numbers or positive numbers, so those numbers are whole numbers. But if we're going to include negative numbers to the whole numbers, so that numbers are what we call the integers. So meaning to say, it is a set of positive and negative whole number, and that is integers. Integers can be called as a signed whole number, a signed whole number. So meaning to say, so there a whole number that there is a sign. So it is called negative integers if we're going to put negative a sign in front of the whole number. So for example, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 up to negative infinity. So if no sign is in front of the whole number, it is considered as a positive by default. So that number is what we call the positive integers. So for example, we have positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, positive 5 to positive infinity. So sometimes in positive integers, we do not prefix the word positive to each number. So simply say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to positive infinity. 0 is also part of the integers which separate the positive and negative numbers, or positive integers and negative integers. So take note of this one. The higher the negative integers, the lesser its value. For example, negative 6 is less than negative 2. And then negative 7 is less than positive 3 or 3. So now let us proceed to the rules of integers. So those are addition rules, subtraction rules, multiplication rules, and division rules. So let's start with addition rules. If the two integers to be added have the same sign, we add the integers and keep the sign for the sum. So we have here positive plus positive is equals to positive, and then negative plus negative is equals to negative. So it is simply says that if the two numbers to be added have the same sign, we're going to copy the sign and add the two numbers. Okay, so let's start our example by this one. So positive plus positive is equals to positive. Okay, so positive 9 plus positive 5 is equals to positive 14. So basically, uh, we can say it as 9 plus 5 is equals to 14. Next, positive 4 plus 8, or positive 4 plus positive 8 is equals to positive 12, or okay, we can simply say this as 4 plus 8 is equals to 12. Okay, next we have 16 plus 16. So this is equal to 32. Okay, from the previous three example, the sign of the first and the second number are positive. So the sign of the final answer is positive, also positive. Okay. Next is we have negative plus negative is equals to negative. Okay, we're going to add negative 5 plus negative 20. Okay, as we can see, okay, since the two number has the same sign, we're going to add the two number and copy the sign, which is the negative. So we have 5 plus 20 is equals to 25, and then copy the negative sign. So for our final answer, we have negative 25. Okay, next example is negative 16 plus negative 3. So add the two number. So that is 16 plus 3, and it is equal to 19. Okay, then copy the negative signs since they are both negative. So the final answer is negative 19. And then for our last example, so we have negative 25 plus negative 25. So this is equal to negative 50. We're going to add 25 plus 25, that is 50, and then copy the sign, which is negative. Okay, so what if the integers to be added have different sign? Okay, so if the integers to be added have the different signs, subtract the smaller integer from the larger integer and use the sign of the greater integer. Okay, just subtract the smaller integer from the larger integer and use the sign of the larger integer. Again, subtract the smaller integer from the larger number and use the sign of the larger integer. Okay, so for example, so we have positive 8 plus negative 5, or 8 plus negative 5. Okay, according to the rule, subtract the smaller integer from the larger integer and use the sign of the larger integer. Since 5 is smaller than 8, we will subtract 5 from 8, which is 8 minus 5. So 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. So now, since the sign of the larger number is positive, for 8 is larger than 5, so for our final answer, we have positive 3. Okay, so just simply 8 minus 5, so that is equal to 3. Okay, next example, we have negative 4 plus 26. So is equal to what? Again, the rule says that subtract the smaller number or smaller integer from the larger integer and use the sign of the larger integer. So since 4 is smaller than 26, so we will subtract 4 from 26, so that is 26 minus 4, and it is equal to 22. Now use the sign of the larger number, which is positive. Okay, for 26 is larger than 4. So for our final answer, we have positive 22. Okay, for our third example, we have negative 16 plus 10. So since 10 is smaller than 16, so we will going to subtract 10 from 16. So that is 16 minus 10. Okay, now 16 minus 10 is equal to 6. So now let's use the sign of the larger number, which is negative, because 16 is larger than 10. So for our final answer, we have negative 6. And then for our last example, we have 75 plus negative 100. So again, let us use the rule. Let us compare the two numbers. Since 75 is smaller than 100, well, we will subtract 75 from 100, which is 100 minus 75, and it is equal to 25. Now, let us use the sign of the larger number, which is negative, because 100 is larger than 75. So for our final answer, we have negative 25. Okay, so next rule is the subtraction rule. Okay, for subtraction rule, it can be understood as addition of the opposite. So it can be put into two rules. Okay, so we have minus positive become minus, and then minus negative becomes positive. Okay, so whenever we encounter uh, this kind of symbol, minus positive, we're going to change it into negative. Then we'll go, if we encounter minus negative, we're going to change it into positive. Okay, for us to understand. So here is our example. So for minus, positive becomes minus. So we have here 3 minus positive 12. So this is what I'm telling. Okay, if we encounter negative minus positive, so 3 minus positive 12. Okay, so we're going to change it into minus. Okay, so we have 3 minus 12, and then perform the operation. So since we have different sign, and then 3 is positive and 12 becomes negative. Okay, we're going to use the addition rule. Okay, having the different sign. Okay, so now let us compare the two numbers. Since 3 is less than or smaller than 12, we're going to subtract 3 from 12. So that is 12 minus 3, and it is equal to 9. Now use the sign of the larger number, which is negative. Okay, because 12 is larger than 3. So for our final answer, we have negative 9. Okay, next to it is negative 3 minus positive 12. Okay, minus positive, so we're going to change it into negative. So we have negative 3 minus 12. Okay, so positive 12 becomes negative by using this rule. So since we have, or they have the same sign, so just simply add the numbers and then copy the negative sign. So 3 plus 12 is equals to 15. Then copy the sign, so we have negative 15 as our final answer. Okay, so for minus negative become plus. Okay, we have here positive 3 or 3 minus negative 12. Okay, so this is what I'm telling you. So negative, okay, so we have minus negative, it will become positive. So here we have negative minus negative 12. So we're going to change it into positive. So it will become 3 plus 12. Okay, from minus negative, it becomes 12. So 3 plus 12 is equal to 15. Okay, next example is we have negative 3 minus negative 12. Again, so we're going to follow this rule. So since we have minus negative, we're going to change it into positive. So negative 3 plus 12. Since they have different sign, okay, so we're going to compare the two number. Okay, since 3 is less than or smaller than 12, so we're going to subtract 3 from 12. So 3 minus 12 is 9. And then let us use the sign of the larger number, which is 12. So for our final answer, we have positive 9. Okay. Okay, so for the next rule is the multiplication rules. So there are two cases here. So same sign and different sign. If both integers have the same sign, the answer of multiplication is positive. And if the integers have different sign, the answer is of the multiplication is negative. So here, positive multiplied by positive is equal to positive. So negative multiplied by negative, the answer is positive. Okay, if we're going to multiply positive to negative, so the answer is negative, and then we're going to multiply negative into positive, so the answer is negative. So for better understanding, here are our, so let's start our example with the same sign. So positive 8 multiplied by positive 5, the answer is positive 40. Next, negative 4 multiplied by negative 8, so that is equal to positive 32. So 4 times 4 is equal to 16. And then negative 3 multiplied by negative 3, so that is equal to positive 9. Okay, for different sign, so we have here negative 8 multiplied by 5 or positive 5, so that is equal to negative 40. Okay, so 4 multiplied by negative 8, so that is equal to negative 32. So negative 4 times 4, so that is negative 16. And then for the last one, we have positive 3 multiplied by negative 3 is equals to negative 9. Okay, for our last rule, which is the division rule, okay, if both integers have the same sign, the answer of the division is positive. And in the second case, so if the integers have different signs, the answer of the division is negative. Okay, so meaning, so positive over positive or is equals to positive. Negative divided by negative is equal to positive. So positive over negative is equals to negative, and then negative over positive is equals to negative. Okay, so let's proceed to example having the same sign. So positive 75 divided by positive 5, or simply 75 divided by 5, it is equals to positive 15. Next, we have 6 over 12 is equals to positive 1 half. Okay, next is negative 100 over negative 25 is equal to positive 4. And then we have negative 28 divided by negative 8, So that is equal to 7 over 2. Okay. Next, for different sign, we have positive 75 over negative 5 is equals to negative 15. Negative 100 divided by 25, so that is equal to negative 4. Okay, negative 6 over 12, so equals to negative 1 half. And then for our last example, we have 28 over negative 8, so that is equal to negative 7 over 2. Okay, so this is the end of my video. So keep you updated, so kindly subscribe in this channel. So thanks for watching. God bless us all, and to God be all the glory.